Hello and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be going over what's in my camera bag for 2025. So it's a new year and I wanted to go over the gear that I'm going to be using primarily for sports this year. So first off, I'm going to start off with the lenses. We have the 300 f2.8. This is the non-IS version, very old. It's beat up. It does have a lens hood, just not in the picture here, but this lens has been very solid for me for the past, I think, at least 2 years now. Primarily, I use this lens for soccer, football, and baseball, and I sprinkle it in with almost all the sports. There's usually an area where I can use it in almost any game day, so it does occasionally get carried to everything, but primarily it's those sports. And then usually on the second body, I have a 24-70 or the 16 millimeter, which I'm shooting this with. Usually something wider is on the second body in case I'm in the dugout or on the sideline and I want to get some huddle shots, or on the basketball sideline getting a little timeout photo and stuff like that. And then we have my go-to for a lot of things as well, and that's the RF 70-200 f2.8. This has been a super awesome lens. This is the version 1. So it does protrude when you zoom out. And I thought that was gonna be an issue the first year of going to the RF from the EF, because the EF is all internal. But I've had no issues over the past couple of years with this lens, and I don't see any dust or anything in there. So it must be sealed very nicely, which has been very nice. This lens is very fast and sharp, and it's never failed me. Now for cameras, I have one on the tripod here, but same camera here, just with a battery group, and that is the Canon R6, the version 1. These cameras have been very solid for me, and to be honest, I don't even think about upgrading very often. I never grab this camera or shoot an event and say, man, I wish I had the R6 Mark II or the R5 or the R1 or R3. Obviously, upgrading to the R3 or the R1 would be very nice in sports, but for now, the R6s have been very nice for me. Now, a few things that I carry in the bag as well, outside of the photography gear. I do use an Insta360 One RS. This has a 4K lens on it currently, and then I also have a 360 mod lens for it as well, so I can shoot 360. And typically I have this in a hot shoe on one of the R6s, so when I'm covering an event, I can share it with all of you. So a lot of my videos are shot with this now, with the 4K lens or the 360, and you'll know if it's the 360 because it's kind of all over the place and I'm doing some different effects with it, stuff like that. Another thing I keep in my bag is some earbuds. These are some JBL earbuds. They were like 20 bucks back a couple years ago, but they're in a little magnetic charging case, so they kind of pop into place. And sometimes I'll throw one in and listen to a podcast while I'm covering an event, or play some music if it's kind of a slow day, or I just need something to put me in the groove of just zoning in on what I'm doing. So occasionally music or a podcast. Another thing you don't want to leave without is a lens pen. So this lens pen has a little brush on it, and then on one end it has a little lens pen so you can clean the glass on the front of your lenses. That comes in very handy because you never know if you're going to be outside and it gets dusty, windy, you get some water on it or something, you can dry it off and use one of these to kind of clean it. So I usually use one of these before I start any event and clean the front of the lens. Now, another thing I've added recently, and I've always tried to keep one of these in my bag, that is a battery pack. So this is a battery pack from INIU. It's a P63 Cougar. It's one of their newest. It's one of the smallest and most powerful battery packs that they offer. And for the size, for the size and the power, it's one of the best available out there. So this has been super nice to be able to charge the Insta360, the earbuds, and my phone as well. It has enough power to charge all three of those multiple times before I need to change it out, or charge it up. So right, you can see on the front, maybe you can see that there's a charging percentage on it. So right now it's at 100%. It has two USB-Cs on the side and a USB-A, and you charge it through USB-C. So for the power of this, it's been very convenient to keep on my bag. It's small, size of my palm. So that's very nice. and it's not too thick, so it fits in my bag right up there with all my gear just fine, and it's been a huge addition to my bag. I got the black one, but they also have other colors available like red, yellow, white, orange, and blue. The price of the Cougar P67 is $66.99, half the price of the V-mount battery. If you're looking for a cost-effective and compact power source, I have the link below. And then another thing I have is a Canon charger. Always take one of these with me. It's the wall mount one. That way I don't have to worry about an extra cable in my bag, and it charges pretty quick. So I usually always have to switch batteries at sporting events, at least in one camera. So I always take one of these and make sure that a battery is on there fully charged. So when I need to swap, I can. So, and it fits in very nicely. As you can see, it's about the same size as this charger. So I can usually put them right next to each other in the bag. So that's very, very nice as well. Now, a few things I don't have on here that I do use. Obviously, I have the camera bag. I'll put that in the description down below, along with the rest of this stuff if you want to check it out for yourself. A few things with the Insta360. I do have the mic mod and the hot shoe mod that goes onto the cage that comes with this camera. And that allows me to plug in a wireless mic system, so I can hopefully in the future start talking while I'm covering events and just talk about the gear and what I'm looking for. That way I can give you guys a little more info while I'm shooting instead of just some B-roll footage with the photos. Well, that's it for 2025. I do have a few other items stowed away, but they're not really primarily for my sports stuff. Like the 85, I don't use too often, but I do pull it out occasionally. And if you've been around here, you've seen videos of me using the RF85F2. It does come in very handy, but for the most part, these are my go-to setups for sports. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Remember, most of these items, or if not all of them, will be linked in the description if you want to check them out. Some of those are affiliate links. So just to clarify, some of those are going to have a little kickback if you use them. And I would appreciate if you would like to subscribe. With that said, I will see you all next time.